Hey everyone, it's Gary with Foundry RC. We're back again with another video for you today. On today's video, we're going to be installing the Kraftwerk MSD spark plug wire. Okay, for this install, the very first step you're going to do is you're going to take this heat shrink cable and you're going to slide it over the wire. You want to do this now because if you forget to do it later, it's going to be really difficult to unscrew and do the whole thing all over again. So you're going to take the heat shrink and pry it open and just slide the cable in, like so. Okay, now you don't have to worry that you're not going to forget that and have to redo everything later. For the next step, you need a Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to remove these top two screws on the fan plate. Then you're going to need a 4mm Allen key, and you need to remove the 4 screws that are holding the rest of the fan plate in. Then you're going to carefully remove the fan plate cover and push back on the stop button over here so it does not come out with it. Okay, now you have your coil exposed. You can go ahead and remove the plug from the cable and pull it out of here. Now there's this rubber cap right over here on top of the coil. You're just going to peel this back and slide it up. It might be a little difficult, but you get your finger under there or something, you can slide it right up, like so. Then what you have to do is you have to unscrew this cable from the pin. So you want to turn it counterclockwise. Okay, once you have it out, you'll see that there's a pin inside there, and that's where you're going to insert the new cable, the core, right over here, the little pin in the center. Now I'm going to see if I could reuse this little piece up here that goes in the gap, but I have a feeling you can't. I haven't seen anybody else use that. So on the old cable, I'm going to peel this piece off, and I'm going to peel this off. And we'll see if I can get this on here. If I do, I need to take the heat shrink off and pull it up, but let's see. Okay, so we're gonna see the weight difference between the MSD and the original Zenoah cable. 33 grams for the MSD and 13 grams for the factory cable. 12 grams. 13 grams. We're going to go with 13. Okay, so you're going to take the MSD cable and you're going to just peel back this insulation here, little fuzzy stuff, and you're going to take the core and you want to center that over the little pin, and you're going to screw it clockwise until it's all the way down and in. Now it says in the instructions that you can, it says option, it is recommended to apply a bead of epoxy to the wire connection before installing shrink tubing. I might put some Gorilla Glue. I had no problem taking off the stock one. There was no epoxy holding that one in, so I might not install anything. I'm just going to screw this in, we'll see from there. I'm going to go ahead and remove the fan shroud because it's just making it a little bit more out of the way. So to remove that, you just go over here and you remove this one screw and it'll come right off. So you take a Phillips screwdriver, and now she slides right off. Now we got a clear shot of the pin and there's less obstruction in our way. Okay, so you're going to take this wire and you're going to stick it in the hole and screw it on. Spin it clockwise. Alright, once you have it threaded on, you can give it a little pull just to see, make sure it's on. When it's on, you're going to take the heat shrink tubing, you're going to slide it down on the wire and over the little plastic lip, like so. Then you're going to take either a lighter or a soldering iron or a heat gun, which I'm going to use a heat gun. And you're just going to want to shrink the heat shrink tubing. Then that's it, you're completely installed, everything's secure, not coming out. You're going to go ahead and reinstall your fan shroud. Make sure it fits. Now you may need to trim this over here, which I think I'm actually going to trim this because it's a little bit too much. I don't think it's getting a good connection right there. Yeah, see, it's pushing it off. So you're going to want to trim a little bit of this off and good to go. Okay, so now let's reinstall our fan shroud. Make sure everything is laying right. Phillips screwdriver. Alright, so I'm going to take a blade and cut a little bit of this tip off over here. Okay, now we get a proper connection. Clicks on, fits in good. So you just want to cut off a little bit, you don't need to cut off much. And it clicks in, goes right down to where it's supposed to, and everything's good. I actually had a little bit of a problem with this one, so just going to let you guys know so it doesn't happen to you. When you're screwing this in, if you do it a little bit too tight, you'll end up pulling the coil out of here. You'll start turning it, and I was trying to snug it in, and you don't want to do that because the little weight inside there, it just ripped the coil right out of it. So I had to cut it and shorten it up a little bit. I'm going to probably leave it like this, or maybe I'll go ahead and get a replacement and get a better length because it's a little bit too short for my liking, but otherwise it still works, still reaches, still gets a spark, and good to go. Alright, so now we're going to button the whole thing back up. I'm going to take the fan cover. Lay this on the side like this. Okay, and you're going to want to put the kill switch in first over here, and it's got little plastic expansions on it to help hold it in. They go top and bottom, so you're just going to take this and slide it in over here like this. Alright, once that's in, make sure that your spark plug cable is in the hole, in the provided hole. Everything fits on properly. Alright, and we're going to put the top two Phillips screws in first. Okay, and for the other four screws, you go and you can put a little dab of Loctite on them. It's always a good idea, metal on metal, have Loctite on it. I'm not going to put Loctite now because I'm going to be taking this apart for another video where I install the kill switch and my tachometer. Alright, I'm going to screw these in. Alright, and there we have it. Our MSD spark plug cable is fully installed. Everything's buttoned back up. And there we go. I'm going to take this piece here that comes in the top, and what I'm going to do to try to fit it on and still use it, just to close the gap, just because why not, is there's already a little slit in the top over here, so I'm just going to take my blade, provide a cut over here, and see if I can get it around this. If I can, I'll reopen it up and slide it in and have it in the next video installed. So I'm just going to take our blade, go through the already cut section, and just cut through there. Now we can open up the whole thing, and let's see how this fits around here. Okay, so you can get it to work, but it's not really ideal. If you see, it's a big difference in thickness of the gauge of the wire, so this is not going to work. So we're just going to leave it as is, just like this, and that's it. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe found it useful. Learn from my mistakes and, you know, don't over tighten it and ruin the cable on yourself. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please do. I have a lot more coming. Thanks for watching. Take care.